congratulations on two things coming off of last night. Number one, I felt like that was a win that we needed to have just to kind of right the ship a little bit. And number two, you get yourself the game winner in the shootout. Good for you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we haven't had too much success in the shootout this year, so it was nice to get a win in that sense. And we blew a 3-0 lead and then blew a 4-3 lead late. So it's nice to come out on top with 2 points.
And you know what? I'll tell you what, though, Dylan, going at the very beginning of the game, especially in that first period, I don't know what was said before the game or if it's just internally of you guys going, hey, listen, we're on a 3-game skid, which is the longest of the season, which is crazy to say from the beginning, which just tells you how good the team has been. But I thought you guys came out on fire, controlling the puck. Like your line, you guys started the game, just controlling the puck. I thought we were all over them early in the game.
Yeah, it was definitely an emphasis. We haven't had great starts the last couple of games. We feel like we've been down in the first, each of the last 3 games. So we found a little extra jump, and now we just kind of need to put it together for all 60 minutes. We had 2 very, very, very good games coming out of the break, and then 3 not so good games after that. So kind of just going back and forth right now. But hopefully we can string a few together today.
Hey, were you shocked they took that coach's challenge so early?
A little bit. I mean, we kind of all thought it was a goal, and then we watched replay, and whenever someone challenges, it can always go 50-50. But I guess we learned a new rule last night that you can challenge as many times as you want. It's just a penalty if you don't get it right. So apparently that's the new rule. We also thought that there was no more timeouts after you lose a challenge, but I guess we were wrong on that too. So I'm not sure when they switched all these rules around on us, but they called a timeout pretty late in the game, and we were all kind of up in arms because we thought that they usually, or what it used to be, is if you lose a challenge, you lose your timeout and you can't challenge again.
Right.
But I guess those rules have now changed.
And then, the other thing, Dylan, that I thought was very obvious from the very beginning of the game, Brady Tkachuk was going to fight someone. I thought early on, though, he and Nick Dowd were going to go.
Yeah, they're, Brady's a very, very good player, a very effective player. And, he seems to get under the skin of lots of guys. He's always stopping at the net. He's always kind of digging at the goalie. And Dowder's just doing his job and protecting the goalie. And, yeah, I think Giroux hit Willie maybe a little high, a little late. And, Willie kind of turned around and went towards him. And that's when, Brady stepped in. So thought it was a really good fight. Thought it got some momentum for both teams. We scored one kind of right after. And then, they scored obviously a couple to make that game tight. So, two heavyweights going at it. And it was, fun to be a part of that.
Yeah, that was fun to see. Hey, let me ask you this. So Tom Wilson had a good game last night as well. So he ends up with a goal, he ends up with an assist, and he ends up with the fight, the old Gordie Howe hat trick. Now, Dylan, let me ask you this. All the way up through, like starting in minors or, whatever level, has Dylan Strome ever had a Gordie Howe hat trick?
No, I've not had a Gordie Howe hat trick. I've only been in one fight since I started wearing a visor in junior, and it went okay. But no Gordie Howe hat tricks for me. My brother has a couple. I'm pretty sure both my brothers actually have a couple, but they're a bit more of the edgy types. I'm a middle child, so I say I'm more of a lover than a fighter.
Do your parents give you crap and go like, oh, here's Ryan and Matthew, and then here's kind of like our pussy in the middle, Dylan. He just doesn't really fight that much.
No, they haven't given me too much crap. I feel like, I won't get into too much, but I think I'm doing okay for myself.
No, you're doing great. By the way, I should point out, they put up a very nice statistic about you last night. Is you now are the 7th player in Capitals history. I hope I have this right. The 7th player in Capitals history to record 60 or more points in each of their first 3 seasons with the team. Dude, that is fantastic.
Yeah, thank you. I saw that tweet last night. Yeah, I mean, it's been a lot of fun to play for the Caps. We've had a couple of good seasons, and obviously this is our best season to date that I've been here for. So it's a lot of fun. I'm playing with really good players. I get a really good chance in the power play most nights, and you get that extra ice time, and get out in overtime and things like that. And just the coach has when the coach has confidence in you, you want to take that and run with it. And the way our team's playing this whole year, it's been a lot of fun. So looking forward to the next 20 games and heading into the playoffs. So it's definitely exciting.
Hey, Dylan, are you good at remembering very specific plays from during the game, or last night's game's over, it's out of your head and you move on?
No, I could probably remember almost every detail from at least my shifts, and usually the whole game for pretty
awesome.
much. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
2:17 left in the first period, okay? Odd man rush. Okay. Odd man rush. You're in the middle. You get the puck just above the circles. Ovi's on your left-hand side. A defenseman is kind of cheating his way. Did it even cross your mind to shoot the puck, or at that point are you like, nope, just got to dish it left?
It definitely crossed my mind to shoot it. What happened was Carlson made a great draw pass to me, and I kind of had the lane to shoot. Before I even picked my head up, I noticed that their D went to Ovi to try to, obviously not let me pass to him. And then when I kind of looked up and almost faked the shot, it looked like he kind of came back to me a little bit. So I wasn't 100% sure that my shot would get past his stick. So I kind of just pulled it in and passed it. I don't know if it was exactly in his wheelhouse, but the goalie made a fantastic save, and that's not one that usually gets stopped when Ovi's shooting from there. So definitely did cross my mind to shoot, but when the D kind of jumped back towards me, I felt like it was the better play to pass.
Good. You know what? I'm glad you said that he jumped back, because from where I was, I only saw him cheat over, and I was like, oh, Jesus, Dylan, shoot the puck.
Yeah, it definitely felt like that at the beginning, and then it was almost like he didn't want to pass to me so bad that he realized I was almost on a breakaway. So he kind of did jump back a little bit, and if I put that probably 4 inches behind, a little bit to the left of Ovi, it probably goes in. So that's I'll take that one. And
then we talked about getting out to a really good start in the first period, and you knew, listen, Ottawa's fighting for a playoff spot. You knew they were going to come out in the second and really, really press. I'll tell you and then the third period, whatever. The second period, I thought Logan Thompson played an unbelievable period in the second.
Yeah, I mean, he's been a fantastic all year. No question about it. He's very hard on himself, and he doesn't like giving up goals. He hates losing, and it's a great trait for a goalie to have, obviously. But he's a battler. There's been numerous times this year where the game's been 3-3 or 3-2 us or 3-2 them even, and he makes a massive save to kind of keep us in the game, and not let it go. Not let it go 4-2 with 5 minutes left, and we found a way to come back and tie those games up. So, credit to him. He's been fantastic all year, and we're going to need him. I mean, goalie is probably the most important position on the ice, and he got rewarded with a nice contract, and we have a lot of faith in him, and it's it's been great to see for the whole year, and especially last night. He made a bunch of saves. That 4-on-3 in overtime. I don't know what the exact percentage is, but I would say over 50% of the time the team is going to score on a 4-on-3, especially in overtime.
Sure.
So he made some huge saves.
Hey, and not just Logan, but then also, the news came out yesterday before the game that Charlie Lindgren signs an extension. So now goaltenders are locked up for the next couple of years. Does that resonate well in the locker room?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, with the goaltenders being, I would say the most important position on your team, I think it's huge. I mean, both our goalies were going into the season without a contract for next year, and when they get rewarded with those contracts, I feel like it's well earned. Obviously, with what Charlie did last year for our team, and he's been solid this year too. I feel like people don't really give him enough credit for how good he's been. We haven't given him the goal support that we've given Logan this year, but Charlie got rewarded with a nice contract as well, and a soon to be father. He set up his family for the next couple of years, so really happy that he gets to stay, and just an awesome teammate. So really happy both those guys get to stay.
All right, couple of other things. Let's bounce around a little bit. Busy week. You're in New York tomorrow night against the Rangers. You're home on Friday against Detroit, a team that is going to come in hungry. Seattle, you get Sunday afternoon. And listen, the teams are already going, right? The Rangers pulled off a couple of deals. You had deals before Four Nations of Rantanen getting traded. I think Nashville just pulled off a deal. Colorado, New York, like I mentioned. Is the room going to look different Friday night than it does right now? Or is the feeling in the room, we're good?
I'm glad that's not my job. I think that it's a tough decision. I mean, you can kind of look at it both ways with how good our team has been and how much chemistry and how much fun we've had. And anyone around our team can see that. You don't always want to mess that up and bring in a bunch of guys and it's a totally different vibe. But at the same time, there's not many times where the team is so close to being the best team in the league and might need that little extra for playoffs. So I think the team's going to be content with both ways. We traded away 3 guys last year at the deadline and ended up making the playoffs. So it can kind of work both ways. I know Carbs does a great job of getting us, ready and very detailed about each game. So I'm not going to be surprised either way. But it's always a tough time of year because the guys that you see every day, some guys might not be there come Friday night, like you said, and it's a tough part of the game. They got families too. They got houses here and things like that. So it's never easy, but it's part of the game and it's something that we've all had to deal with at some point. And
you talk about the chemistry of the team, Dylan. And you look at and listen, just as a fan watching from afar, you could tell, and you'll hear like guys who follow the team, whether it's, like Beninati or Alan May or any of them talk about how there's just something special about this year's team and the closeness and the chemistry. If there is a change, some outsider comes in, does that become incumbent on the leadership group of, and I don't just mean Ovi and Wilson and Carlson, but guys who are veterans like yourself, to then kind of make them fit in as quickly as possible?
I think it's just a, kind of a group thing. Like we had 7 new guys come in this year, which is, pretty big turnover for, a team that has, a sport that has, 18 guys total that play in the game. We got 7 new guys. So I think, it just speaks to the leadership, like you said, and the kind of the culture that's been built around here that, no matter who comes in, if you're kind of not, part of the team, you won't last here. And I feel like we do a good job of, kind of making everyone feel comfortable. Everyone feels welcome when they come in. Everyone feels like they have a role. I'm not sure you could go down the list on our team and find a guy who, doesn't know exactly what his job is night in and night out. So, I think that's what, good coaching staff and good leadership and good veterans bring to a team. And we know it's only going to get harder from here. We've seen the last, 4 games that it's been not easy for us. So, it's always a tricky time of year, but I think with the type of players that we have and the type of people that we have, it'll make anyone that comes in, fit in pretty quickly.
Is Dylan Strome getting hit up for tickets, whether it's at home or on the road as Ovi gets closer?
Not too much. I think, people are pretty respectful of I guess my tickets, I would say, if someone comes down from Toronto where I'm from and wants to come to a game, of course, I'm going to help them out and get them tickets. But I wouldn't say people are going over and above to come down and see it. So it's, I'm closing in on 500 games here. So most people that have wanted to come to a game so far have been to a few games. And, obviously, anytime someone comes down, I'm more than happy to help them out with getting some tickets.
Do you feel like your trek towards 500 isn't getting quite the coverage it's deserving?
No, not. It doesn't need any coverage. Believe me, it's not it's a cool milestone to have. But there's lots more important things coming up besides that. So I know there's a few big milestones on the mend here coming up soon.
By the way, you know what pisses me off? It just crosses my mind as we're talking, Dylan, is like, listen, if we could all script it, Ovi will do it at home. We'll all be there to be able to see it. But it just now dawns on me while we're talking, no matter where it is, God damn you get to see it no matter what.
Yeah, well, knock on wood, hopefully. But, it's going to be, it's going to be something that I know I've thought about a bunch of times. It's like, how's the goal going to be scored? What's going to happen? Who's going to get the puck? How much security is going to be in the rink? Who's going to be in the rink? I know there's talk about, lots of different, types of people from all over the world are possibly going to be there. And, it's going to be cool. It's weird because I remember watching Barry Bonds when he was going for the home run record, and how it would we were watching just a regular Sports Center, and it would come up on a little screen in the corner like every one of his at bats. I don't know how exactly it's going to work with Ovi, but hopefully he can get a couple here in the next week and make it a fun time coming down the stretch.
Oh my God, I can't wait. And then next week, I know next week you guys hit the road for a 3-game West Coast trip. You get to see your brother out in Anaheim, then you get LA and San Jose. Will that be a good little getaway to head out west for a couple of days just as the team by themselves?
Yeah, it's always fun. Always fun to go on road trips. Especially when you get to play against your brother and get out of this cold that we've been experiencing in DC for a little bit, to get some sunshine. So, always fun to go out west. We were kind of talking yesterday how it's weird that we have 3 different West Coast trips this year. So, we went to Colorado, Utah, and Vegas for one trip. Then we went all the way Western Canada, and now we got to go west, California west. So lots of different road trips this year, but they're always fun, and we've been a great road team all year. So it makes them even that much better.
Hey, last thing, and then I know I got to let you jump. Going back over the weekend when Tampa was here, I don't know. Well, you said you remember almost everything. At the end of the game, empty net goal, Dylan Strome skates up and smashes his stick against the net, right? Fine, totally fine. I have no problem with that. But let me ask you this. When you were growing up, and there's 3 Strome brothers that are playing hockey, and I'm talking youth hockey, Dylan. So you've got you've got Ryan, you've got Matthew. I had 2 kids that grew up playing hockey. Did your parents have the same rule that me and all my friends have with their kids? If you break your stick in anger, you have to buy your own.
Yes. That was not something that, I just feel like, I know it looks pretty childish when I do it now. And I hate when I do it. I was pretty frustrated after that one, but especially as a kid, that was just something that, was just disrespectful to your parents, I think. So it was never something that, myself or my 2 brothers, I don't think we ever did that. It would not have gone over well in our household. And I'm pretty sure we may have had to use a road hockey stick for the next couple of weeks if we did that. So that was not something that we were gonna do too easily.
Yeah, no, and sticks are so goddamn expensive. Well, you don't know. You probably haven't bought a stick in 15 years, but sticks are so goddamn expensive.
I know. I remember my last year of minor hockey, so I was 15, I guess. And that was the first time that anyone had sent me sticks, a company had sent me sticks. And I remember just being so thankful that, you always, you're stressed as a kid. If one breaks, you don't want a stick to break. It's never a good thing. Your parents work hard for their money and they put you in hockey. And then if a stick breaks, it's they got to go out and get you a new one. And it's never a fun thing, but I remember being very thankful the first time that I ever got some sticks sent to me. And like you said, I guess that would be 13 years ago now coming up on. So I definitely haven't paid for a stick in that long.
Dude, good for you. All right. Hey, congratulations on the win last night on the shootout goal. It'd be nice to get back on a good little run here. Like I said, you get Wednesday night on the road at the Garden and then back home Friday and Sunday. Hey, Dylan, I appreciate the time. Thank you, sir.
No problem. Thanks for having me, Elliot.